Before we get into this early afternoon update, I want to go over a quick overview of what is transpiring right now. First of all, we know with XRP, we're up over the 482 level, and we've had whales buying from the June 22nd to June 28th. They've bought about 170 million worth of XRP tokens. So that's something to keep an eye on. But there's also some breaking news. Well, it's not even breaking yet, but there's a bit of a bias right now that an anonymous official at the SEC has said that Gary Gensler is going to resign. He's going to tender his resignation. So this is not confirmed, but this is something that's been breaking over the last few hours, that Gary Gensler, an anonymous source with the SEC, has stated that Gary Gensler is going to tender his resignation here. So is it true that Gary Gensler is resigning? Did the pressure finally get to him? Is there going to be a price breakout with XRP amidst just the speculation? And can XRP continue to move up on this thinly traded weekend as we're on the 4th of July weekend? It's going to be an interesting trading week on Monday and Tuesday because the market on the 4th, obviously there's going to be people taking off, and it's going to be it's the holiday part of the week. So starting Wednesday, it's going to be very volatile. So if anybody can comment with me, I'm going to read what I found about Gary Gensler and just the tweet that's been sent. So if this is true, what impact will this have on XRP? And we'll also take a look at Bitcoin, as Bitcoin is still over the 30,000, still over that CME gap, and is still positioned to have a nice breakout here. Now, what is developed here is Bitcoin is now developing the broadening wedge, as XRP's already confirmed. It's very clear to me that Bitcoin is now in a broadening wedge formation. On the breakout attempt over the channel that it was able to break back on top of, that it broke down previously. So it looks to me Bitcoin has extended out a broadening wedge just as XRP did, which leads me to believe that Bitcoin is slightly behind XRP. So we're going to take a look at XRP, the Bitcoin chart, also take a look at the possible resignation in the making of Gary Gensler, the SEC chairman, and then also how the whales have bought approximately $170 million worth of XRP between June 22nd and June 28th. Make sure you hit that like button, as it is the only way to get new people in here, because YouTube's algorithm loves the likes and loves the comments. I appreciate each and every one of you. I just got back from church as I gave thanks to the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. And it actually was a beautiful thing because it was raining here all morning. The only time it stopped was when I went up there from 11 to 12. And as you know, I ride my bike up there. So then I get home and it's starting to rain again. So if that's not a sign, I don't know what is. So I appreciate each and every one of you. Remember, positivity over negativity. If we choose the positivity, we can't lose because we bring ourselves together and we don't make decisions based on emotion. Good early afternoon, 12:07 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Sunday, July 2nd, 2023. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. So, first things first, we talked about Gary Gensler. We can come down here. So, is SEC Gary Gensler resigning? Amidst renewed interest by whales, crypto Twitter has been abuzz with the news that SEC Chair Gary Gensler is about to resign. So, breaking, anonymous official at the SEC has reportedly disclosed that Chairman Gary Gensler is going to resign following an internal investigation. And as we know, there was Congress was looking into Gary Gensler, so they turned up the heat. So we'll see if this is true or not, but this is what's been breaking. So during his time in office, Gensler has been accused of being unfair in his enforcement of the law on cryptocurrencies. As a result, his work at the agency has deterred the development and growth of the industry. Last month, the agency sued Bitcoin and Coinbase, two of the largest crypto exchanges in the world. In its complaint, the agency named 64 other cryptocurrencies it believed to be unregistered securities. After SEC Chair Gary Gensler sued Ripple, XRP, Binance, and Coinbase, Chair has to step back. It is safe to, that's something we could read more of as well, but it is safe to assume that many in the crypto community will be celebrating his resignation and believe it will be a big win for the industry. Although the reports are unconfirmed, and the supposed internal investigation unknown, Gary Gensler has faced major resistance, not only from the crypto space, but from lawmakers alike. United States Republican United States Rep. Warren Davidson on June 12th introduced the SEC Stabilization Act into the House of Representatives with one of the main provisions seeking to fire SEC Chair Gary Gensler, and that's what I aforementioned. So that's interesting. So U.S. capital markets must be protected from tyrannical. So in a statement, the U.S. representative for Ohio said, so this is interesting. Let me know in the comments if you think this is actually transpiring, and is this going to have a big effect on the price of not just XRP, but is there a big pump in the making coming for crypto if this is true, or at least some of the securities that are under speculation of being unregistered securities, some of the tokens. So in a statement, the U.S. representative for Ohio said, U.S. capital markets must be protected from a tyrannical chairman, including the current one. That's why I'm introducing legislation to fix the ongoing abuse of power and ensure protection that is in the best interest of the market for years to come. It's time for a real reform and to fire Gary Gensler as chair of the SEC. Although the mere resignation of Gensler will not automatically end the XRP case, a crypto-friendly chair taking over could bring clear rules and regulation that shed better light on the case. So we're going to take a look at the charts, and then we'll read this about the crypto giants on the move. XRP whales snap up 170 million worth of tokens. So let's let's take a look at Bitcoin. We talked about this in the open. Bitcoin very well could be creating that same broadening wedge that XRP had formed. And I think it's starting to possibly form here. We have the downtrending support here that is clearly starting to form. I don't know if we can say it's a broadening wedge just yet, but it's definitely becoming more volatile as Bitcoin did. So you got support. We started up here with our first hit of support as well. And we'll see what starts happening here. So we've got a lower high. I suppose we could do it like that, but a broadening wedge, you would come down farther, and you know what we could do, actually? I'm trying to do this in real time so everybody can see kind of how the thinking process would go. So if it is starting a broadening wedge, you go with the candle body right there. I would say something more like that could be starting, and then this starts here, comes through. Let me fix this real quick. Because it's speculatory where you think it's going to start. You know, you got to start forming it somewhere. But if it's something like XRP, you can let me know in the comments if you think this is starting or if we're reaching right here. But I see something forming here. To me, it's hard to ignore that something like this is forming. And this needs to go up a little higher because it's actually starting to widen out like that. See, this is starting to form a broadening wedge, I think. Are we reaching right now? It's possible. But I'm definitely starting to see the broadening of a wedge here. And I'm trying to do it in the 1 hourly, which makes it a little more difficult. But that's something like what I kind of see is starting to develop. I really do. So we're starting to broaden here. But the breakout point, nonetheless, is a technical target of 35,000. If we can hold the 30,000, that's the CME gap on the top of the channel. And now it seems like we're creating a broadening style wedge here. So I just want to stay on top of this in case that is actually what's forming. And yes, I'm speculating from my own area because we broke up, came down, and I'm using that same breakdown of support and breakup of resistance to make that broadening wedge, and we can see how it's expanding. So we need to break out before we break down. It's also critical for Bitcoin to hold 30,000, stay over that channel on CME gap. So on a breakout, the technical target, as you can see, is 35,054. On a breakdown, the technical target actually lines up perfectly with 25,194. So just pay attention to that. And then XRP, I want to get into the chart one more time this morning, or this early afternoon, and then I'm going to read that about the whales. And then I'm going to go over to my grandpa's. Tonight I'm going to be doing a live. I just don't know what time it's going to be. It won't be at 2:30 or 3:30 today. It'll probably be closer to 6 or 7 if I had to guess. But we will still be doing a live, so if anybody's interested, make sure you're paying attention to that. So XRP, as we know, has had a bullish cross here in the 1 hour time frame if you watch this morning's update. So just to touch base what's going on. Bullish cross, held support. Now the next layer that we're trying to do is come up and break 494. If you can come up and break 494, you're going to hit the 5-0, which is the psychological level, which is why it's there. But then you need to break up and over 508. The target here, if you hold and break 508, you're going to start retesting the higher levels. First 537, and ultimately we could start coming up to the top of the pattern double top, which is at 585. And then if you can break and hold the 585, you'll come to the top of the broadening wedge, which will end up pushing you roughly to the 62 cent level. That was an old pattern formation. It's 614 right now. That's an old pattern breakdown from several years ago, and we haven't been able to get back over it in multiple years, and we haven't even attempted it in quite some time. So that's going to be our big breakout attempt if we do manage to go up. So right now, 477 remains urgent for XRP, as that is our psychological breakout level right now and my major pivot level, which you can see why. And now the 1 hour golden cross is actually, support was held right at the 477. And if it continues to push up, this is very, very bullish. But to return and try to reverse that short-term bearish bias, we need to break up and hold first layer 508. 494 is the first layer, but 508 is the real big level to break so we can start pushing up towards that 537. If you remain under 494 at any time, if you keep getting rejected there, you could lose 477. And just remember, underneath you have the inverted head and shoulders neckline at 44 cents. At 4497, you have the pattern breakdown double bottom. And then if you do lose the inverted head and shoulders neckline, 415 is the bottom of the broadening wedge right now. If you're looking to trade XRP or your favorite crypto, in the video description below and or pinned comments, if you can still use BitGet and or MXC, they're great options. It's just in the USA, it makes it very difficult. But now we have another option in the USA, FEMX. It's in the video description below and or pinned comments. You can futures trade up to 100x, long you're shorting the market. And there's very, very low fees on buying and selling. So you can buy your XRP and then send it to Uphold so you're not spending the extraordinary fees. And then you just let it go to your favorite exchange or your wallet. So that's in the video description below and or pinned comments. If you want to show support for my work, you can always do that by looking in the video description below and or pinned comments and join Tom's Army. There's a mission statement there why you're so important, why you become an integral part of my community and allow me to keep creative control. So last things here, crypto giants on the move. XRP whales snap up 170 million worth of tokens, and make sure you hit that like button. If you watched it all the way through, make sure you hit that like button, especially if you want to see this community expand. After a 12% drop, whales are taking an interest in Ripple XRP as they look to heavily accumulate. Investors have amassed 360 million XRP, worth approximately 170 million between June 22nd and the 28th. So data shows that the whales have taken a keen interest in Ripple XRP. It is clear from recent moves by whales that the price slump has not deterred them. If anything, the shakers and movers are taking advantage by accumulating heavily. Between June 22nd and June 28th, when XRP price recorded a 12% dip, whales bought 360 million XRP, worth approximately 170 million. This highlights the long-term outlook of the investors who seem not to be deterred by the short-term price movements. For the last 2 years, XRP price have been held down by the ongoing U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission (SEC) lawsuit. The regulatory agency alleges that XRP is a security and that Ripple sold it without registering with the agency. Ripple denies the XRP classification, with ruling from other regulatory agencies outside the U.S. backing the narrative. With Ripple celebrating minor victories over the last few months, Ripple executives are confident that the U.S.-based technology company will ultimately win the case. A win for Ripple means the judge ruling that XRP is not a security. Its implications will not only be on Ripple and XRP, but will also set a precedent on how the court views cryptocurrencies in the future. And as you know, we already read about his SEC Gary Gensler resigning. There's been news from as it says, an anonymous official at the SEC has reportedly disclosed that Chairman Gary Gensler is going to resign following an internal investigation. So make sure you watch this again if you need to. Pay attention to all the news. And ladies and gentlemen, don't let them trick you out of selling something you don't want to. We waited multiple years to get back on XRP at this level. Don't let them trick you and fudge you out of your position. Remember, positivity over negativity, and we allow ourselves to make a perfect and rational decision by not using emotion. From the bottom of my heart, I love each and every one of you individually, and I can't think of a better way to spend my Sunday than with each and every one of my friends.